Hi guys! So today I started my summer solar infusions and I figured why not make a video of it? So why solar infusions? Well, I use solar infusions or I make solar infusions when the essential oil of the herb that I am infusing is a little bit out of my budget. So that being said, the ones that I choose to infuse are comfrey, rosehip, calendula, and helichrysum. These herbs have so many benefits. You're just going to have to look them up on your own and see if any of these herbs are something that you would possibly be interested in infusing. But if I were to give you like a one-word description on these herbs, I guess what I would use would be for comfrey, I would say healing. For rosehip, I would say rejuvenating. For calendula, I would say calming. And for helichrysum, I would say all of the above. So, and then I have my very specific reasons for using those ones. But moving on to ingredients. What you're going to want is you're going to want some glass jars with lids, and you're going to want to make sure they're clear glass because it is a solar infusion. So like the amber bottles, they help protect the oil from the sun and from other light, but with a solar infusion you want all of that light and all that sun to come in so it can draw some of the properties out of the herb and into the oil. So anyway, glass jars and lids, the herbs that you're going to infuse, and then your carrier oil. That's all you're going to need. So I chose to use as my carrier oil extra virgin olive oil because it's the cheapest carrier oil that I can get. Some others that you might want to use if your skin doesn't react well to olive oil. Some other options would be like jojoba, MCT, maybe even coconut oil, safflower, sunflower, avocado, almond, those types of things. But out of all of those, this is the cheapest that I've found. This is like $7.99, I believe, at Trader Joe's. And so I just go where it's just cheaper. So, and plus my skin's not really very particular when it comes to those oils that I just mentioned. It actually really loves olive oil. So anyway, all right, so talking about the infusion. Well, you're going to want to take your jar, and I actually already have put these all together. So anyway, you're going to want to loosely fill it with your herb. Well, you loosely fill it all the way to the top if it's a flowery herb. And don't push it down. Don't worry about the fact that there's going to be some stuff sticking out in the top here. You're going to be dealing with dry herbs, and if you don't already have dry herbs, or if you didn't know that you're going to be dealing with dry herbs, I need to make sure that you are perfectly aware that you need to be dealing with dry herbs, because if you are not dealing with 100% dry herbs, you could run into a mold issue and then you're going to end up having to toss this whole jar out. So since an infusion takes so long, you don't want to risk there being possible mold. And so therefore you're going to want to make sure the herbs are 100% dry, or just purchase some that have already been dried. So anyway, yeah, just fill it up loosely to the top with the dry herb. And then you're going to top it off with the oil. And this herb is going to, I just did this, so it looks really full now, but as time goes by, those flowers are going to soak that oil, and then the amount of flowers is it's going to look like it has decreased. So anyway, and like I said, don't have to worry about it being completely submerged. You're not going to have a mold issue if you're using 100% dried herbs, and that is the way to do a solar infusion, is through dry herbs. So anyway, flowery herbs, yes, like I said, loosely fill it up to the top. With the ones like comfrey and rosehip, didn't fill it up to the top. I just basically covered the bottom and then filled the rest up with the oil. And then you want to put the cap on it, throw it into the windowsill, and let it sit for at least 6 weeks in a window that gets sun most of the day. So this is the window that I use for my infusions. And I only did 3 today because this comfrey one is actually last year's infusion. So yes, it has been sitting in its carrier oil for almost a year now. So I did mention they need at least 6 weeks, but it does not hurt to keep it in there any longer. So the way I handle a solar infusion is I don't strain it, and I don't take it out of this infused state until I actually need the oil. So that way I'm just like, because in my head I'm thinking it'll just ensure that it pulls absolutely everything out of that dry herb as possible. So I haven't needed to use comfrey for some reason, even though I have kids and there's a lot of reasons to use it. I haven't had to use it this past year, so I'm gonna go ahead. I didn't start a batch of comfrey this year, but I will strain this one with you so that you can just know how that process goes. So we'll do that now, and you're gonna want a cheesecloth to strain it. I don't have any cheesecloth, but I'm gonna use what I already got in the house, and what I will use is the lid from one of the infusions I started today. So just using this, I'm just going to strain it in. So while this is going on, I guess I can tell you about the reasons why I personally chose those herbs. So with rosehip, I actually use rosehip as a facial moisturizer. It is extremely moisturizing, anti-aging, anti-inflammatory, works really well around your eyes if you're puffy from lack of sleep or just tension. I use rosehip for my, just like I said, for my facial moisturizer, and that's pretty much all I've reserved it for because it works so well as that. I don't really want to use it as for anything else. And then for the comfrey I actually haven't gone over the comfrey. The comfrey is good for wounds, other skin conditions like burns, scrapes, bites, really, really good for bites, and other scratches and whatnot. And then the calendula, I picked that up for eczema. And along the same that same line, I also used it for my diaper rash cream. So what I'll do is I'll take the calendula and I'll put some essential oils into it, like tea tree and rosemary or lavender, and make a pretty amazing diaper rash cream out of that. And it's worked really well in the rare occasions that we get diaper rash with the little ones. And then helichrysum, I've used that just as a straight up moisturizer for my whole body. It's like an all-in-one. It's as far as its benefits are concerned, it just covers the full spectrum of every other thing that I've infused. So I generally run out of that one first because it's kind of like it's almost like a cure-all. So anyway, I'll use that one, run out of that one, then I'll just, I'll move it down in some of the others. So anyway, strained that one, and I strained it into just an old amber bottle I had because it's already been infused. So now that the oil's infused, I'm gonna want to protect the oil, and therefore I chose the amber bottle. Anyway, so that's it. Really simple process. Hopefully that is helpful to you in getting started, and goodbye for now.